And we're back. PT Breakfast Club, Dave Kittle and Tony Maritato. Dave, I just swallowed a frog. How's it going?
Tony, good morning. Let's get into it. I'm pumped because we're going to be talking about paid advertising, paid marketing, potentially expanding your practice if you're watching or listening, doing so through paid channels. So this is right up my alley. I'm running Facebook ads right now. We're running Google ads right now. I can't wait to get into this.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I think everybody watching this, everybody who's going to tune in, they've probably done exactly what I tend to do, which is you see a good ad. What I do is I keep track of the best ads on my Facebook page. I make it only me so nobody else can see it. I share it to my personal Facebook feed, and then I go back and reference it. And so before we started recording, for anybody watching, Friday, I turned 50 years old. Friday is my birthday. I turned
Happy
50.
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. No, like I'm
You
gonna
you
turn. I'm
oh
not
this
there
this
yet.
this week.
This coming Friday. So I'm like sitting here, big change, obviously, like looking at things, what's going on. I start going down the rabbit hole, and I always try to reverse engineer my own buying decisions because I don't make a lot of buying decisions. I just don't buy a lot of stuff. But I'm like, man, like I'm gaining weight. I'm working out. I'm doing all the right stuff, but things are going in the wrong direction. And generally speaking, at that point for me, I'm like, either I need to push harder, either I'm not seeing what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing the right things. I'm just not seeing where I'm missing, or I need to pivot and change directions. And so, of course, I started doing my research and I went down the testosterone rabbit hole. I want to show you guys some of the ads that came through on my feed because, of course, once you click on one, holy cow, they just come in mass. And it got me thinking, I'm like, these are really effective ads. They are speaking to me directly. There's some that are resonating really strongly with me, some that are not. So I was like, I'm going to get Dave. Dave's the professional. We're going to talk about some of this stuff, take a look at what's working because the same concepts are universal. It's going to apply to a physical therapy, occupational therapy business, just like it applies to low T, to personal training, to self-improvement, development, all of those kinds of things. But let me ask you the question. Do you, and I know you do you find ads that you like and copy them, bookmark them, save them for future reference?
100% on Facebook, on the top right hand corner of every ad that I like, including the one I sent you. Maybe we'll get into
Yeah.
it. I sent you an ad last night
Yep.
of a chiropractor who only focuses on plantar fasciitis, and then she has a YouTube channel of, I forget what, the plantar fasciitis doc or whatever, the foot doc, something like that. I saved that one. That's literally the first thing I do is I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I don't know if it's a physical therapist, whatever. I save it on Facebook. You can save the video or the ad or whatever. I'll click into it. I downloaded the guide or whatever. I bring that into on my iPhone. I bring that into I open it into an external browser, which my default is still Safari. So I have that sitting in my Safari internet on my iPhone, and I have, I don't know, at any given time 100 or two of those, like just either saved or like just in my browser for me to go back to whenever. But yeah, I mean, you have to be kind of like a student of the game and kind of see, like you get to, or I get to start on first base or second base by just saving ads, see what other people are doing, and then you do it long enough, then you're like, okay, this company, this person is still running the same ad or an ad like it for 6 months, 12 months, whatever. Obviously, it's working. Obviously, uh they're getting some return on investment, and so you can kind of put the pieces together from there.
Let's start with the one you shared. So I'm going to put it up here. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. First, where did you see her either ad or video or whatever got you connected with this?
This was Facebook last night. So I was served this foot pain plantar fasciitis ad. This is the landing page, but
Yeah.
I was served the ad as if I was a prospective patient customer. I don't think she's treating people. I think she's selling physical items, which we'll get to in a second. But I was served the ad on Facebook on mobile.
So what's interesting, this is her Facebook page. This is her business page. She only has 44 followers, or no, she's following 44 people. She has 1.8 thousand followers, which isn't huge by any means. What I typically do these days is I go straight into either videos or reels, and I just get an idea. So like 17,000, these are all in the hundreds. 2.3 thousand. She doesn't have any major like home runs here, no million view reels or anything like that.
And this whole
What
page, like
what in
her account,
particular?
like
I'm gonna go to. Go ahead.
like this page for her, she might have just started 2 to 4 weeks ago. Like, who knows? Not a lot of traction on the videos, not a ton of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
followers and likes and all that. So this literally could have been popped up 2, 4, 6 weeks ago.
Go to the ad library,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see. Let's click on this. I know. Hang on a sec. Let's see. There we go. So you can see here, does plantar fasciitis ever go away? I've worked with thousands of patients all over the world, severe plantar fasciitis, some of the common questions. And then she goes through most common mistakes, orthotics, night splints, water bottles. So she's hitting on everything that people have tried and didn't work for them.
Yep.
Are you confused? I think this is an important one. Are you confused? And we know that you can go to 10 different physical therapists and get 12 different recommendations for how to treat any condition. Nobody gives you the same recommendation across 2 PTs. I know this condition is baffling. Treatment application does not work. My goal is to introduce a new wave of understanding that involves correcting the weakness and deficiencies in your foot. So everybody's going to approach plantar fasciitis in a different way. She's going to approach it from the foot. I would approach it from the immune system. Other people are going to approach it from the knee, from the hip, from joints away that's affecting that. And then here's a video in another ad.
Thousands of patients all over the world.
Can you hear that, Dave?
Plantar fasciitis.
I can hear it. Yep.
I spend most of my time trying to educate patients on what not to do. There is so much misinformation out there regarding plantar fasciitis.
So pretty good 2-minute video, going through it. I'm working on a bunch of videos very similar to that. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I think it's a pretty good approach. Obviously, one thing kind of tongue in cheek is like, hey, anyone that's watching this that knows you and I, Tony, like a physical therapist could be doing this. This is actually a chiropractor. So, kudos to her for going out there, going after a niche, whether that niche is something that she sees a lot of success with, passionate about, happen to have a lot of patients or clients at the same time, all of a sudden, like I'm always curious as to why someone, went one direction, one niche. But any physical therapist watching or listening could be doing this. So, picking, like, I know there's Emma, is it Emma, the elbow queen or something like that? She like
Emma Green.
self-taught it. Yeah, Emma Green. So picking a niche and then doing, writing guides or a book or this or that and videos, and like it's totally doable. And here's just an example. So I'm glad that we're highlighting it.
So you go to her homepage, hey y'all. It's a very like personable. You understand? Yeah, she's not trying to come off as like the professional at the top of the hierarchy. I'm Dr. Angela, so she doesn't go by her last name. I hate it when somebody just says doctor, whether you're a doctor of physical therapy, a chiropractic, a dentist, I don't care. Tell me what you are. Doctor does not tell me what you are.
I had to hunt for it on this page.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. Helping you resolve plantar fasciitis at home. Get my free guide, which I hate free guides, but it is what it is. A couple of things that I think are interesting that I always kind of look at. So you had mentioned she's selling this home therapy kit. Every single one of us should be putting together our own kits. I shared a video about a hand therapy kit. That's awesome. It's like under 40 bucks on Amazon. I should have a total knee replacement kit. And guys, I'm pointing the finger at myself. I'm not criticizing anyone else. I am pointing the finger at myself. I never take my own advice as much as I should. Follow me on social media, ebook. So if you run up to the top, the main offer here is either work with me or, you know, go to the shop. And for the work with me, I was looking through this, $49 for a video series, $49 for direct chat. It's not a telephone call. It's not a video call. It's chat, which I guarantee there's got to be an AI component to this. And when you come down here,
So you could go to ChatGPT and ask you questions, or you could pay her $49 and you'll get the same answer.
and she'll ask the chat GPT the question for you.
Yes.
Join today, only $49. If you take a look at it, welcome. In this 6-session challenge, you'll learn the exact process that Dr. Angela uses. Yes, I want access. So still within this, you're not really working with her directly. Anything before we move off of this topic?
Well, so I shared this with you because you've talked about the physical product bundles before.
Yeah.
And the more items that you bundle together, the easier it is to charge a higher dollar amount. Similar to, I forget his name, is it Alpesh with the hand and the wrist bundle. Yep. So the more things you put together, like you could have the guide in there, you could have a video series in there that you get over email. You get some of these physical products for one type of condition, one type of issue. The easier it is, because the person, it's kind of like the Home Shopping Network or QVC or whatever. It's like, all right, I'm getting this bundle, and then it comes with this, it comes with this, it comes with this, and then you could also have separate bonuses. Like it also comes with this other thing for free, this other thing for free, and the more you kind of stack the bonuses, then it would probably lead to higher conversions. The consumer's like, wow, I get this thing is $49, and I get these other things, and it's all comes together. I think she's hitting on, Dr. Angela, I think she's hitting on a lot of the challenges out there. Like, are you confused, or this and that, misinformation about plantar fasciitis? She's kind of doing a pretty good job of credibility and authority. And then I also wanted to share it with you because of like the paid chat and the paid calls and all that, which is, things you've been suggesting for a while now. So I'm sure it's very relevant for a lot of the viewers that are practice owners that are looking to have, new offers, different offers. And this is a great example for you to basically like model.
Right. She's got products on here besides the bundle. I was just taking a look at this. I don't know if this is like white labeled for her, plantar fascia X essential oil, or if this is something that's being sold. I assume this is a Shopify store. It's got the basic product description and all that stuff. And then down here, you've got your medical disclaimer. We have at the very bottom, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's an affiliate disclosure down here that talks about terms and conditions. And I mean, all of this stuff has been done. Every therapist that I talk to, they're like, well, what about this? And what about that? I'm like, just go model what's already out there, what somebody else has already done. Even if you don't have the money right now to pay the attorneys to create all this for you, just go look at what they're doing, put it into ChatGPT, have it rework it so you're not plagiarizing their policies, but you're making it applicable to your business. And then when you're making money, when this is proven effective, then you get out there and start, paying the attorneys to do it for you. Can we jump into one of the PT business versions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me see. I'm going to share a screen. So E3 Rehab, I'm going to bring it on. Here we go. What I did was I went to their homepage. I think everybody pretty much knows these guys, knows the Prehab Guys. I think they're doing an amazing job. Again, nothing to take away from them. I think we can learn from them, and that's why. But when I look across the top of their homepage, they've got programs. If I go into their programs and then like rehab programs. Okay, so I click learn more. I come down here. They've got their video content, which their videos are amazing.
It's something like plantar fasciitis or tennis elbow holding you back from living your best life.
Again, plantar fasciitis,
we understand the frustration of dealing with pain and injury.
We scroll down, $99 programs, basically to treat yourself at home. If we go into one of them, you know, the only program you'll ever need to recover from plantar fasciitis. Like, I think anyone listening to this would have a hard time saying the only program you'll ever need, but it sells, it works. And this is where I think we need to get over ourselves. We need to get out of our own way. This is why I say therapists shouldn't be selling therapy services. We should deliver it, not sell it, because we're terrible at selling it. But if I knew that something worked, if I knew there was an effective intervention or strategy that worked for my clients to get their goal, Dave, don't you think I am obligated or compelled to use that strategy?
Absolutely.
And so this is copywriting. Copywriting is an effective strategy, using scarcity, using, you know, charging more, because the more somebody pays, the more likely it's going to be an effective strategy for them. These are all strategies that work. Is the program right for me? Are you struggling with pain in the bottom of your foot? So using very plain language, walking, running, no clinical diagnoses, no clinical terms here, no fat or gimmicks. They're working, you know, to connect with the consumer, reduce pain, build strength. Now, the one thing that I would, looking at this, what would you say is an element that you're not necessarily seeing?
I don't know.
I'm going to say I don't necessarily see the emotional connection. Like, I understand, okay, restore function, but what does that mean? I want to hear about how I'm turning 50. I want to be able to play with my kids for the next 20 years. I don't want to be the old man sitting on the park bench with a cane.
So they probably, this landing page and this whole team, like they're showing images of people that are maybe 20, 30, 40, maybe 50, potentially in that range. I don't think they're calling out at the very top like a specific avatar. Like the difference between a 25-year-old and a 50-year-old is like, that's two different that's two different emotional triggers with the copywriting on a landing page, like the words on a landing page. I think they're trying to be for like any adult that has plantar fasciitis that wants to like do it themselves at home. So sometimes when you want to be that broad, then it's hard for you to, you know, mention the emotional triggers, right? Because for example, so for me, it's like I want to, if they're speaking to me, it's like I want them to hit on like, I want to continue to, you know, play weekend baseball. So weekend sports without any limitations, you know, as if, you know, like back in your college or high school days, right? Now, but if they're speaking to you, Tony, it's like, you know, staying resilient, strong, so that you can keep up with your teenage children, and so that you feel, you know, stronger than your siblings and your neighbors, and you look like the most, you know, healthy adult in the neighborhood or whatever. Like it's like two different avatars. Do you like, I don't think they're speaking to like a particular avatar.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't think they're speaking. I agree that they're probably targeting a broader audience. I agree that they're not hitting those emotional triggers for 25-year-olds or 50-year-olds. And so that's where I'm saying they're blowing me out of the water. They're doing an amazing job. If I was really going to dig a little deeper, I would be like, you know what? Who are you trying to connect with on an emotional level? Because I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that emotion so much. The other offer is the coaching offer. So I clicked on the coaching tab. Right now we're looking at that.
And that's going to be apply now, no pricing. They're going to get you probably on a Zoom call or whatever, or a phone call, and to get through a sales process that way, because it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, for sure. This looks like a Google form, you know, so it's just an embedded Google form within the website or something similar. And like you said, there's no pricing. We don't know anything in regards to what's involved with this, which again, personally, I prefer to know ahead. What?
I was just going to say, we can't see the Google form because it might be you're sharing maybe
hang on. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So this was the next page, you know, consulting, coaching application. So they won't work with anybody without filling out the application. Again, I think so many of us are so scared that somebody is going to be turned away by this. But every single successful business that I know of, especially service-based professional services, they're not going to take anybody off the street. They're gonna whittle it down to the absolute perfect candidate. And part of that is adding friction into the system. If I'm a large national chain, I want minimized friction. I don't want any friction. I want people just slipping down the slide into my physical therapy practice, getting hurt along the way so that I can treat them longer. If I'm looking at a high value client, I want to add some friction. I want them to work for the privilege to connect with me. Thoughts?
Yeah, totally. I was going to ask you a couple questions about this, more on the front end offer. So, well, one comment, and I don't know if you agree or not. So, one thing would be the $99 courses are, maybe there's two approaches. One is like it's already done for you. So they create it once, and like anything that they sell, that any of the people that buy that, like it's almost pure profit, because like they've already built it. They've already, like, the fulfillment, it all is all through like email. It's probably all automated. They already did the videos and everything. You buy the $99 course for plantar fasciitis or whatever, and then you go do it on your own. Do you think that the intention of those $99 courses are to be what is it? The tripwire is like the marketing term, like something that's kind of $7 to $100, people that pay for that. And then some percentage of those people do the coaching, and then they apply. Cause like then they're like, oh, I trust whoever, I forget the guy's name, but I trust E3, whatever. They see they see the therapist, they see them, they hear them, all that. So they kind of get a little indoctrinated into like their approach and all that. And then some percentage, I don't know, maybe 20% or whatever, then go upsell, apply for the coaching programming. Do you think that's like, you think it's like the whole intention?
I do. I think it should be. Now, the only reason why I would say maybe it's not is because I'm sure they're dealing with the same struggles everybody else is dealing. If you're going to make that transition into one-on-one coaching, where are you getting your coaches? Where are you getting your physical therapists? So there's going to be a bottleneck in, do they have the capacity to convert from $100 do-it-yourself course to, I'm guessing $300 one-on-one coaching sessions. I don't know. I definitely think it should be, here's the $100 course. I recommend you buy this $50 package of physical products, and then from there, you're in the system. Now, maybe you're making recommendations for supplements to support the journey. Maybe you're making recommendations for higher end leg compression, hypervolt, all of these different devices that somebody would want to use at home, that you're either getting an affiliate commission. I'm getting almost a $25 affiliate commission on the lift chairs. I got to tell you guys about this. Separate from that, just for a second. So I get a text, and a buddy of mine on my phone texts me over the weekend. He says, hey, I just got this text from my brother who knows nothing about me. We're talking 3 degrees of separation now. My brother bought a chair to help my dad when he falls get off the ground. He sent me this text, and the text just says, hey, I know this isn't the perfect solution, but this is something that mom can use when dad falls and it's not an emergency. He actually used my language. I say for non-emergency falls. Sends my buddy the text, forwards him the link to a YouTube video. Guess who it is? It's me promoting the chair, which I'm totally behind. The chair is amazing. And so it's a $400 chair. This guy bought it. Then, my buddy says, hey, I know that guy. He, his kids go to school with my kids, blah, blah, blah. But I'm making like a $25 commission. They want to bump me up to a 10%. So about a $40 commission on these chairs that are truly a great resource for most people. Like most geriatrics who are falling should have a lift device like this in the home. That's a big source of income at scale. You saw we've got videos doing 500,000 views with this chair. We sell a couple of them practically every day. I'm not producing them. I'm not shipping them. I'm not dealing with returns. I just get my commission. It's an awesome setup.
Beautiful.
All right. Yeah. So back to E3.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say back to E3. I think, yeah, the normal process would be you get them in. That person who doesn't want to speak to a human just wants the information. They buy the $100 course. Then once they get to know you, like you, trust you, then potentially they buy the 300, and I'm making 300 up dollar consultation because they need a little more information than the course can provide. That's the upsell. The downsell might be, hey, buy this $50 bag of, you know, physical products that are going to be great to support your rehab process.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's take a look at a different one. I'm going to get back over here. Another one of my favorites, the Prehab Guys. I'm going to share that. So, you know, you come over. This is their, let me go to their homepage. Here's their homepage. Very similar to E3. Young, fit, healthy community. Look across the top. Whoops. They're pushing you into their app. I know that's the big focus for them. But even if I come down to Prehab PT, you look at who their people are. Young, healthy individuals. So they're not necessarily targeting a geriatric community. They've got great video content, blowing it out of the water. They've got their testimonials, which I've got a funny hostage testimonial video I need to share. Work with us one-on-one, get started. We click on that, book your first session, takes you straight into a form. But no pricing.
They do one-on-one?
Yeah, same thing. Looking for one-on-one virtual physio coaching training services. If you don't live in the LA area.
So I know these guys are. I met them actually at my booth when I had Vinicial in like 2015 or 6. I think they were still students at the time. So
Yeah.
Shout out to them. They've done great. I am the avatar in all of these pictures. I work out 5, 6, 7 days a week. I do weights. I run. I do a little yoga. I mentioned it the other day. I don't, I do all this, like the ladder drill, the plyos, like all this stuff, right? And I'll have aches and pains and stuff here and there. And as much of the therapeutic exercise and the things I know to do, and Mackenzie lay on the bed extension, cervical extension off the bed, and foam roll, and I pop my back a little bit, that, and a little self adjustment, all that. I would not do this, Tony. I would not use this app for free or paid or whatever. And when I have aches and pains, or if I have injuries, baseball, I've had elbow, hamstring, thumb, neck, hip. I mean, I have so many things, and I can't always out exercise the ache or pain or the injury or whatever. So then my wife, Annie, will treat me. And other times I've paid for Kellen Scantleberry, he owns Fit Club Physical Therapy. I've gone to buddies, paid out of pocket to go get treatment. I know I'm not the avatar, and I don't know, like, I don't know who would pay for this for someone who is got an actual injury, like, or coming off, like they went to brick and mortar physical therapy and then they pay for that. I don't know, maybe, but like, I can't fully wrap my head around the offering. We said it before about the remote programming, and I paid that, I did that. And then I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, this is not the full value for something remote. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm obscure in the marketplace. The others, are the ideal target, and I'm just not. I don't know.
Look, you're going to go after this call. You're probably going to go through McDonald's and buy a Big Mac and, a large soda, right?
What are you talking about? No.
I mean, yeah, you're not the customer for them. Totally normal, totally reasonable. I do a lot of manual therapy. I'll never go get a massage, right? It's just not something that I want done in that environment. But I'll rub somebody's back in my clinic. We're just different. Everybody is different. There's clearly, just like you said, when you see ads that have been running for years, You know, that is proof of concept. You know, they're making money from those ads. When we see services like this, even though we're like, who would do that? Clearly people are doing it and appreciating it and valuing it and continuing to pay for it. One of the things I wanted to mention here, because they do have the combo brick and mortar service plus the virtual, they have this ACL club, you know, strength, power, agility. What is it? They explain it's an 8-week intensive group training program for people recovering from ACL. And when you look at this, what I think is interesting, we just had a kid before we started recording today. We had a kid go down 8th grade basketball. I think he ruptured his ACL. I didn't go assess him. I wasn't hands-on or anything. I saw the way he went down. I saw the way it swelled up. I'm pretty good, you know, guess that that's what's going on. He's getting imaging and stuff today. None of those people in the background are 8th grade, high school. I don't even think they're college, you know? So I was talking to somebody the other day about creating a post-surgical ACL for young adults who aren't college or professional athletes. I know fewer and fewer people are getting ACLs reconstructed these days, especially in this demographic. But I think it's interesting. Notice they're all women. The one man in that photo is wearing a Prehab shirt, so he's an instructor. But having something like this for anybody who's got a brick and mortar clinic, or look, they're out in the community. You could do something like this at a park. You could do something like this in different locations. I think these are great services. And then this leads into, just like we talked about, person jumps into this group, then they also do the one-on-one with you because they've built trust with you. What do you think about these kind of small group sessions?
Yeah, I mean the semi, what is it called? Semi like the small group session, the group. I love it. I mean, you've said it a ton of times here, like the whole socialization effect in a brick and mortar office. I've worked in 3, 4, whatever different outpatient offices, not including rotations, maybe 6 total in my life. And like the brick and mortar, or the socialization between patients and therapists and all that, like, is massive. You can see how sticky it is, even just for traditional physical therapy. So you got something like that ACL club where it's like, you know, whatever it is, like Tuesdays and Thursdays at, you know, 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. or whatever. It's like condition specific. It's people that are, you know, they're going to be all different weeks and months post ACL. They're all going to have their own stories. They're all going to talk about, oh, I went through this and that. And then you can charge like a weekly membership or a monthly membership for it as the self-pay option after a patient gets, you know, graduates or gets discharged from the one-on-one physical therapy treatment for ACL. I think it's a great idea. You just have to have the space for it, right? So like across the country, there's a lot of practices that have the space for it. Maybe you do, depending on the weather, you do a little bit outside like they showed on those pictures. Some places in Brooklyn and Manhattan, some of the offices have space and some don't because of the cost of, you know, the square footage. So yeah, for a lot of owners, it's definitely a doable thing.
But in an urban area, I mean, what would happen if somebody went to Central Park or went to any of the local parks in your area for a 1-hour session like that?
Oh, I think that would be fine. Totally fine.
Yeah, like around here, I've recorded video because I wanted to share it and I never did. Local fitness groups will go to local parks and they'll do like Parkinson's training and fall and Tai Chi and yoga. And that's a lead gen again for either one-on-one coaching, training, things like that. But it just seems like a no-brainer. And then if we're talking to the Medicare community, you know, Medicare does not cover services unless the services are delivered in the physical therapy clinic that's associated with your contract or in the client's home. So as soon as you take that Medicare beneficiary out to the park, you're not covered. So you can charge your cash rate. You're not required to submit a claim to Medicare under the mandatory claim submission law. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world, yet I don't understand why I don't see that happening more, especially in temperate climates. Okay, let's shift gears, stay on a topic, but go ahead.
We don't have to do it right now, but if you want, I can show now or another day, another video. Yesterday, February 3rd, the amount of Google ad calls that I got,
Yeah, let's see it.
trackable calls, and the cost, and it's one of my best days ever. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Let's see it. We can't not. What do you need to do?
Well, I'm on my phone, so I can't share it, right? So I'm gonna go old school. Okay, let me say this. So I'm gonna show you guys, as I've done before, the day, which was yesterday, February 3rd, and I'm gonna show you how many clicks, how many impressions, like eyeballs, and then how many trackable calls, and then the cost. Now, let me just ask Tony. 24 trackable calls through Google Ads. How much do you think that would be? How many dollars? Like how much total for 24 calls? Think like how much that would be worth, like how much some people might call accidentally, they're looking for Fox Rehab, whatever, they call in, they're like, I'm looking for Tony at Fox Rehab, and it's like, oh man, like, because sometimes there's the landing page, the search ads, but then there's also like the tap to phone call, like it's one tap, the phone number comes up at the bottom of the iPhone or Android, you tap it again, and then now you're calling the business. So there's like the 2 tap to call. So it's like, those leads are more expensive because it's less friction. We were talking about friction. Anyway, 24 phone calls to a physical therapy business. How much do you think that would have been?
So it's going to kill me to even say this. I'm going to say,
give a range, because it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to even.
I'm going to say $32 a call. That's what I would be paying. And that would break my heart to pay $32 a call, but that's what I would think. I would go to Google, set this all up. I would be willing to pay up to $32 a call. I would hope that out of the calls that you got and after converting and all that stuff, maybe it generates $2,500 in total revenue.
All right, I like that. I like you're in the range. Okay, so let me show you here. I'm going to zoom in. Just so you guys know, I got nothing to sell you here, but look, we got February. You can see the date, February 3rd.
Yeah,
February,
I see it.
February 3rd, 2025. So that was yesterday. And let me scroll up. Here we go. We got 132 clicks.
Wow.
I got 2,500 impressions, meaning eyeballs, people that saw the ad. Total 24 phone calls, and it cost $638. So you do a little calculator math, that comes out to $27 per phone call, which is under what Tony Maritato thought, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, by the way. I've paid $100 per phone call per phone. This is a lead who may be looking for Fox Rehab, maybe looking for my business. So for $27 per phone call, we're putting gasoline on this baby. I'm looking at Google Ads now multiple times a day, and I'm pouring gasoline on it. So it's free range right now, and in my area, just to get again like a little humble brag, there's ZocDoc is the highest paying advertiser because they're like a multi-billion-dollar company, and then it's like Kins or Luna and Ready Care and me. And Ready Care has like dozens of therapists. They're huge. They do home therapy like in Long Island and all over. Kins is big, and Luna is, even bigger. So I'm basically like in the top 5 advertisers of, I think, of spend for I guess for home physical therapy in the New York City area.
So why do you think those prices are on a relative basis that low right now?
I have no idea, other than like Facebook ads we turned off in December with Joe Lowe. We turned them off because of the holidays. It was a presidential year, a lot of distractions, but with the holidays and Black Friday and all that, like the Facebook ads get way more expensive in December. And then in January and February, it seems like they're way more reasonable and costs come down. That's what Joe said on the Facebook side. And I have no idea. So I'm assuming it might be similar on the Google side, which is like companies are spending less money on Google ads for any of the physical product companies. So they're spending less now in January, February compared to November and December, like after Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. So I think just prices come back down a little bit more reasonable, and that's probably why we're seeing this.
Yeah, let me show you guys. Now this is what I see. Let me see here. Hang on. Here we go. This is on the back end of my YouTube channel for Learn Medicare Billing. I was blown away when I saw this. Just so you can kind of understand what this is. The peak day, I got paid $69. So when ads are run on my channel, YouTube, which is Google, pays me 55% of the ad revenue. But then, you know, getting through January, I was averaging like 30, 15, 27, $9 and $10 days were like the lowest. Right now, we're doing multiple $3 days, $1.67. But the thing is, my views didn't really go down that much. So what's happening is this is telling me there are, you know, really cheap ads out there right now. And so this is the barometer for me to say, okay, right now I should be putting out ads. I should be spending money on ads. Ads are cheap. I'm going to throw money at it so that I can generate more clicks, more sales, more conversions, whatever. Back here, $69 day, $30 day, I might not want to sell ads as much, or I might not want to buy ads as much. I'm always selling ads. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Why do you think, what was that, January 13th? Like, why do you think that was like that big peak?
Usually what happens here is somebody has like a no limit on their ad, and it's an auction. So the auction just goes up. There is some crazy, let me see if I can extend this back. There are some crazy peaks. Like this peak was a $69 day. And it's usually one ad that sold at auction that just had no upper limit, and they just kept going up until nobody else would bid on the ad. And this is all programmatic. Like this just happens. But you see here, $46 peak, $40 peak. These are just a company wants to run that ad.
Got it.
And then, okay, let's take a look. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about that? I mean, that's amazing. That's awesome.
I was thinking I would maybe save it for the parting shot, but I'll mention it now. I started doing Google ads 5, 6 something years ago at like $100 or something at a time. Maybe, you know, then $200 and I remember like $500 a month was like, it seemed like I don't know, like I'm risking like my apartment or my home or something, like, you know. And then I got to the point in the last couple of years where I was spending $7,000 or $8,000 per month, which I know sounds bonkers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When I was brushing my teeth getting ready for this show. Here's the thing. These are all deductions. These are all legal, IRS compliant deductions that your accountant will look at your expenditures and be like, yeah, Google ads, Facebook ads, like, yep, 100% deductions. The IRS tax code in America is basically saying to you, and you get those as deductions regardless of whether they convert or not. So if they do not convert, like the 24 phone calls, and you know, only 4 of them convert, and those 4 people, and like maybe 2 of them stay with us for 4 years. I mean, the amount of money that people are going to spend from those 2 or 4 phone calls out of the 24, they're going to be spending money with me for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever years in the future. It's insane. And right now, the leads are never going to be cheaper than they are right now. So if it's like, oh my gosh, man, it's expensive to run Facebook ads, it's expensive to run Google ads. It's never going to get cheaper right now. In next year, next 4 years, next 8 years, whatever, regardless of the president, regardless of inflation, it doesn't even matter. Leads on Facebook and Google or anywhere else are always going to be more expensive in the future. Dump gasoline on it right now because they're all deductions. The IRS tax code is saying to you, here's a way to grow with some risk because the money leaves your bank account. I get it, but it's a deduction, folks.
So Scott saying, I love seeing your behind the scenes strategies. Thank you for sharing with all of us. He also said, always look at lifetime value. This is the difference. This is the difference between who's in the room with you and who's not. You know, when I talk to non-business owners, they are stuck in the mindset of running ads is a waste of money. Running ads, you know, who's looking at your name on the side of a building? Who's looking at these things? Whereas when you're looking at a business owner, especially one who's successful, they're looking at things so differently. They're saying, okay, what am I going to do with this money? I've got $1,000 to invest. I can invest it in building my business. I get a full deduction on my taxes. Plus I get the future value of the brand recognition, people coming into me, new clients coming in. That was one of the things that I said when I was looking at purchasing equipment. What else am I going to do with the money? If I don't need to put food on the table, if I don't have an immediate need for that money to keep my family alive, I'm going to put $1,000 in the stock market. On a good year, I'm going to get 120 back on that $1,000 but that's after tax money. So really I have to earn 1,300 to invest 1,000, as opposed to putting that full 1,000 to work, buying capital equipment that's going to return money for me and retain hard asset value, buying ads that's going to bring new customers into the business, investing that money into the business. But it's fear. And I totally get it. It's being fearful that you're putting that money into something that's not going to create value, something that you're never going to sell, something that has no return on that investment. That's the concern. And it's the same concern with somebody who wants to come to physical therapy. They're going to pay you $300 when they know subconsciously or consciously they're going to go home and not do anything you tell them to do. They're not going to change their diet. They're not going to change their lifestyle. They're not going to do the exercises. That's why people don't invest in themselves, because they don't have the confidence in knowing that they're going to do what they're supposed to do once they're not in front of you. What do you think?
100% agree. There was a client who we'll call him Tim. His name's not Tim, but I remember exactly where I was in Brooklyn in my car. I came out of a house call. I got into my car. I did a call back for a lead for this guy, Tim. His name's not Tim, but I called Tim. This was 2020. So it was during COVID, the uncertainty, the craziness, wearing masks in people's homes and all that. I call up him. He found us through Google or Google ad or whatever. He converts. He's had different orthopedic issues. He lived in one part of Brooklyn, and then a year or two later, he moved to another part of Brooklyn. He's still with us. Then he moved from this other part of Brooklyn to like Long Island. So then because he works in Manhattan. So then he's taking the train into Manhattan. He's still with us. We sublet this office in Manhattan. So like it's, paid per visit or whatever. So like, because he doesn't have space to get treated in his corporate office because they have like glass cubicles, and he doesn't want to, they don't have an extra treatment table. We're not going to bring a treatment table. So there's no room for us to treat him. So nearby, one of my buddies, he sublets rooms and treatment tables and all that on 57th Street in Midtown Manhattan. So I tell this client, Tim, hey, we got a spot here for you. Let's make it happen. He's still with us. That was 2020. Now we're in 2025. And he's now changed jobs. He was in this, this big role, and now he's with another company. He's still with us. And that lead, dude, seriously, that lead was probably $25, $50. And he's with us for 4 or 5 years. And he's, either through private pay or out of network insurance or whatever. I mean, just him alone, the revenue from just him alone was at least 20K. I have no idea, but like huge. So that's the point, is like that one paid lead that costs $25 or 50, even if it's 100, who cares? Because the winners pay for all of the losers, all the losing leads, and all the people that are looking for in-network, or they're looking for Fox, or they're looking for not Tony Maritato, and it just more for me. Like maybe I shouldn't do these videos because like it's more for me.
All right, Scott said, you're so right. Fear, false evidence appearing real. I've never heard that. That's awesome. Thanks, Scott. Okay, so I know we're running out of time. Let me share this with you guys. I need to totally update my Facebook home page, home screen. But okay, this is, I want, just listen to a couple of the snippets. This is me going down the testosterone replacement therapy rabbit hole. Tell me if you hear this.
Obviously the libido is going to be always a big one right there. Really, and I can really hear it in their voices on the phone. I mean, it starts at one point, then it gets to another, the mood aspect, and that's giving them more energy to do what they want throughout the day. Could be a lot of guys that I deal with. I mean,
so here,
do not go to some black market peptide company or website. It's not worth risking your health.
So the first guy was about building mood.
They're a legitimate.
This is about
fear that I've been working with for the past 3 years. They build out safe.
This one.
Gentlemen, let you on a little secret. No one is coming to save you. No one.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of men come to me and they ask about clinical testosterone, and I give them the truth. The truth is, if you start clinical testosterone, especially if you need it, plan on being on it the rest of your life, and there will be side.
Unless he's a physician, like I can't even take this guy seriously with sleeveless shirt, tattoos everywhere, and a trucker hat, and you're going to talk about clinical testosterone, dude. I'm out. Are you serious?
So there's that part of it, and I agree. It makes me very uncomfortable. I do like the fact that he said something that made sense to me, though. He said, the truth is, if you're going to start this, you're going to be on it the rest of your life. Like, that makes sense to me. And there's going to be side effects. That makes sense to me. So immediately for me, there was a level of trust building, but then there's also that I can't resonate with a lot of these guys from this guy I resonate
sluggish,
with.
Overweight, tired. I'm 53 years old, sluggish, overweight, tired. I started using home. I've lost weight. My energy levels have went up and just generally feel better. Haven't had any kind of issues whatsoever.
So like that was the commercial that I started resonating with. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I fall asleep every afternoon. I'm gaining weight, even though I'm working out and eating well and doing all this stuff. I just don't feel like I'm, where I should be. And this is like a regular guy. He's not prescribing anything. This is a testimonial that made sense to me.
And there's some other elements. The crappy audio, he's looking down at his phone or his laptop. It looks so real, raw, and genuine, right? That if you showed me all these videos, I would have said this one would resonate the best with you, Tony, but also like probably gets the best, click-through rate or whatever, because it is, a middle-aged to older gentleman. Not like, it's not all rehearsed and, professional and studio video.
Okay, now this is not TRT, but this is the example, and I'm not taking anything away from this company. I tried to cover up their name, but I didn't do it very well. This is what the exact definition of a hostage testimonial. She's got the paper in her hand of what she's supposed to say. She's being prompted by the person behind the camera to say it. They will not let her, they won't give her water. They won't let her out of the room until she does this video.
Until you do it right.
To it.
What were you experiencing?
Listen to the background.
What's your name?
Kathleen Watson.
Okay, Kathleen. And what were you experiencing before you started the neuropathy program?
I was having a lot of pain and tingling and numbness in my fingers and both hands and my feet. And I was having a lot of problems with my feet just walking.
Cringe, so cringe.
So, I mean, I know she wants to help, and I know they want to show, this is our patient and everything, but just in my mind, this is like, pick the right person, It just that was a horrible one.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, like, so something like this. Let's wrap on a video like this.
Jim Collins, third attempt, last lift.
I don't know if you remember. I shared a video a couple years ago now. Gentleman, I think he was an upper extremity amputee doing some pretty crazy CrossFit stuff, like amazing achievement. I was called an ableist, and it's fitness porn or motivation porn or some crazy stuff. I love
kilos.
these videos. These guys doing 165 pound deadlift at 77 years old. Again, this is something that resonates with me. I don't expect it to resonate with a 27-year-old. What do you think of, a therapist using this kind of content, doing a green screen, talking about how amazing it is to be this strong at this age, and using that as part of their marketing?
I love it. I love the simple text on the overlay of the video, just showing like the amount of weight that the guy's deadlifting at 77 years old. It conveys a lot in just like minimal, like just the video and a little bit of the text of like this many pounds or kilograms that he's deadlifting at 77 years old. It shows a lot. Like just that, let's say if I screen grab that video and then I put it on our social media, then my potential following looks at that and they're like, oh, well, if I go to Concierge Pain Relief, or if I go to Total Therapy Solutions, if I'm 60, 70, 80, whatever, like maybe they could help me, stay stronger or whatever. Maybe they don't want to lift 150 kilograms or whatever, but that might help in terms of like just some social proof, even if we didn't even make the video, even if that's not even our patient. So I think it certainly could be effective.
One of my favorites, and I just want you guys to know, anyone can basically do this. Adam Meekins, he does a great job with it. Now, you don't have to be as confrontational, but here he is. He's green screened in. You don't have to even screen grab it. Pretty much YouTube Shorts, Instagram, all of these will let you do a green screen over an existing video. I don't have the audio turned on, but like it's so easy for you to do, whether you want to do it, confrontationally, or you want to do it as, hey, this is great information. Everybody should be doing this. I just think it's easy. It's free. If you don't want to make your own content from scratch, I think you can bring great content to your community. Even from that perspective, you're the curator. You are not creating content. You're just saying, hey guys, I found this video. I love the way he describes this condition. If you're suffering from this, I recommend you go check out this channel. If you want more information and you're in the Middletown, Ohio area, give us a call. That's it. In fact, I'm going to do some of that. I'll try and do some of that today, and I'll put it out, and then maybe next week we can talk about it.
There you go.
What's your parting shot?
Yeah, parting shot again is that these dollars spent on paid media. Yes, of course, this is why Google and Facebook are multi-billion-dollar companies, and they will continue to get stronger because they have the eyeballs, they have the attention of pretty much all of your nearby neighbors, citizens, residents, all that. But on your personal level, these are all deductions. You're going to risk some money. You're going to lose some money, but you're going to find some winners that love you, love your service. They're going to pay whatever your self-pay rate is, or they're going to come in for insurance, and then they're going to pay Tony, $500 for Shockwave. Then they're going to pay $500 again for a different body part. Then they're going to pay $500 again for their spouse or their son or daughter or whatever. So the winners, meaning the people that convert and stay, and they continue to stay, arrive and pay and stay and all that, they make up for all of the leads, the potential patients, the other callers and people that click on your ads. The winners make up for all of the duds, all the people that do not convert. So it's a tax write-off. The IRS tax code is basically saying like, hey, here's a way. You just risk a little bit of money. You just pony up a little bit of money up front. And we're going to help you. As deductions, we're going to help you grow. Like you get to deduct all this riskiness off your books, and you find some winners, and here's the path to grow. which is through paid whatever, paid sponsorships, paid ads, whatever it is.
All right, guys. Tuesday, Thursday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Go check out the Dave Kittle Show. Check out Learn Medicare Billing, PT Pinecast. We will see you guys this coming Thursday. Thanks a lot, Dave.